high-stakes test mission for NASA's New Moon rocket called off for a second time. Yeah, this after the discovery of a dangerous fuel leak that crews couldn't repair in time. NASA now eyeing late September as the next potential date for a launch. ABC's Morgan Norwood tells us why today just wasn't the day.
The launch for NASA's New Moon rocket scrubbed for a second time.
A scrub for the day here at the Kennedy Space Center.
This time after a dangerous fuel leak that crews had been battling for hours on Saturday.
We understood the hydrogen leaks that we had on Monday. Those are different than the leak that we had today. And we understood the engine issue. So we were confident coming into today. But as the administrator said, we're not going to launch till we're ready.
Teams had tried to cap the leak by restarting the flow of liquid hydrogen, but after 3 hours of multiple troubleshooting attempts, decided to stand down.
Hydrogen molecules are really, really small. They're tiny. And so you can do a leak check, let's say, for example, with helium and pass it. And then when you flow hydrogen, you're not so fortunate. This is a learning process.
NASA wants to send the Orion space capsule via the SLS rocket around the moon, pushing it to the limit before astronauts strap in on the next flight. If the 5-week demo with test dummies succeed, astronauts could fly around the moon in 2024, then land on it in 2025. NASA says the SLS won't fly, though, until it's completely ready.
Sometimes we make mistakes, but we try to minimize those because these are human being lives on the top of that rocket. And I can tell you, when you strap into that rocket, you are very grateful that you've got a launch team like this.
And NASA says they'll take everything that they learned from these past 2 scrubs as they continue to work on this SLS rocket. I'm Morgan Norwood, ABC News at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida.
Back here at home, we had rain showers around us all day. They finally made their way into San Antonio. It was a good feeling.
Absolutely did. Tim, you got some good rain.
You were there when Mrs. Gerber called and reported that we got an inch.
I'm really happy for you because I know it's been hit or miss for you. And you know, for all of us throughout this summer, it really has been hit or miss when it comes to the rain. And today was no different. There were those who got a lot of rain, and there were those who got less than 1/4 inch of rainfall. But take a look at the almanac. You can actually see those raindrops still there on the live cam. We got up to 93 degrees before the rain arrived, and at the airport, 92/100ths of an inch of rainfall clocked in at the airport. Not too bad at all. And at least we weren't at the record of 104 set back in 2000. Outside right now, 74 rain-cooled degrees, but boy, is it humid out there. You can feel the humidity the second you open the window or step outside. So I wanted to take a look at the radar right now and show you what's happening. We've got some heavier showers well south of San Antonio. First, though, let's go ahead and take a look at rainfall estimates. Radar estimated rainfall around San Antonio. As we zoom in, there's just really some very light sprinkles out there this evening. Most of the rain is to the south, but this is a look at those radar estimated rainfall totals. Anywhere you see these yellow bullseyes, that's where more than 2 inches of rain has fallen in just the last 12 hours. Now, as we zoom in closer to San Antonio, you can really see the areas that missed out. On the northeast side, toward Schertz, Santa Clara, New Braunfels, less than 1/4 inch of rain, but plenty of bullseyes all across the northern tier of San Antonio near Hollywood Park, and even across 1604 and 410 on the west side, up to 1 inch of radar estimated rain. South of Medina Lake, 2 inches of rainfall. Let's zoom into one of those bullseyes, get a neighborhood view here. Chavano Park to 1604, Hollywood Park, all the way up to Reagan High School, and then further out toward Bulverde. That's where that bullseye of 2 to 3 inches of radar estimated rain fell. Now, most of the heavier rain is south of San Antonio this evening in Atascosa County, Karnes County, Live Oak, and near Beeville as well. But this rain is still heavy. Anywhere you see that green color right there, that's a rain rate of 3 inches an hour. So thankfully this is going to be moving, but another 2 inches of rain is possible in that bullseye area. And then out west, don't want to forget about our friends toward Del Rio, Uvalde, Eagle Pass. You've got some light rain this evening. Most of the heavier rain will stay south of San Antonio. So let me take you through the futurecast, tell you what you can expect over the coming hours. Again, overnight, lighter rain around San Antonio. Early tomorrow morning, it could be a damp start to the early morning hours if you're planning on going to church or just out early on your Sunday. Heavier rain south of San Antonio early on Sunday, and then that light rain is going to be the main show, okay, tomorrow. But in the afternoon, some isolated downpours are possible. So in your KSAT 12-hour forecast, scattered light rain in the morning will be in the 70s. It's going to be humid all day long. We'll see some peaks of sunshine in the afternoon and a high temperature right near 90 degrees. In the afternoon, that's when we'll have a 30% chance for a downpour or two. Let's transition into Labor Day. All right, on Monday morning, quiet. Most of Monday itself is going to be quiet, but in the afternoon, we'll be dodging a couple of downpours. Coverage should only be 30%. So if you have any backyard barbecue plans on Labor Day, just have a plan B if you need to duck inside real quick. Again, it shouldn't be a washout on Labor Day itself. High temperatures will be near 90 degrees as we head into next week. We'll be looking at highs in the low 90s and lower rain chances. I'll have your pictures of today's rain and a check of the tropics coming up.
All right, Sarah, thank you.
All right, Larry, the first Saturday of college football nearly in the books. I already need to go get some Just for Men to fix all the gray hair after watching the game that was just on and that UTSA game earlier.
That UTSA game, certainly a nail biter at the Alamo Dome. Triple overtime against number 24 Houston. Coming up, we got those highlights, and head coach Jeff Traylor said this loss is on him. And Aggies quarterback Haynes King certainly had a mixed day when it comes to touchdowns and interceptions. Coming up.
There's rumors that they pump crowd noise into their speakers and artificially kind of make that thing as loud as they can, which is against NCAA rules. Let's hope that don't happen.
That's Houston Cougars head coach Dana Holgerson accusing UTSA football of pumping in crowd noise at the Alamo Dome and that fired up Roadrunners and their fans in Big Board Sports. UTSA hosting number 24 Houston to open the Roadrunners regular season, and before the game, UTSA unveiled its 2021 Conference USA Championship banner where 37,526 packed the dome, and let me tell you, they were loud. Second quarter tied at 7. Frank Harris escapes a sack, then he runs 38 yards for a touchdown, just getting in at the goal line, and the Roadrunners take their first lead of the game, 14-7. Third quarter now, same score. Harris throws to Decorian Clark for a 15-yard touchdown, and UTSA leads 21-7. That ball was thrown, only Clark could catch it. Now the Cougs come back. Fourth quarter, Clayton Toon throws to Joseph Manjack for a sweet one-handed bobbling touchdown, and we're tied at 21. They would take the lead 24-21 with 23 seconds to go thanks to a 35-yard field goal. Now UTSA got the ball back, no timeouts, and Harris drives them down the field, first finding Joshua Cephas for 30 yards. They immediately lined up and spiked the ball to stop the clock. Then Harris finds tight end Oscar Cardenas for a big gain down to the 25. Again, they run up to the line, spike the ball, stop the clock with 2 seconds to go. Bring on Jared Sackett for a 37-yard field goal. It is good right down the middle, and we're going to overtime tied at 24. So we pick it up in overtime 3 where the teams have to run alternating 2-point conversions. Clayton Toon runs and he leaps head over heels into the end zone, and the Cougs go up 37-35. That was crazy. So UTSA has to answer back. Harris under pressure throws it, but the pass is long, no good. Now Oscar is open, but Harris didn't have time to see him because of the pressure, and UTSA loses a thriller 37-35 in triple overtime.
This one hurts so much as we know we belong, and we didn't get it done, and that's on me. And it wasn't our kids. Our kids were fantastic. There were just some big-time moments against a really great team that you just can't make those kind of mistakes against. It's part of the learning curve. It was a tough one to learn on because we really thought we played so great for so long.
Coach Shutters wanted us to keep our head up. You know, he takes the blame, but I definitely take the blame myself. That last play, I forgot to send him in motion, so I definitely, it's hard on me right now. We got to just come out there, you know, tomorrow, learn from everything, good, bad, and get ready for next week.
UTSA greats Tariq Woolen and Sincere McCormick were on hand today. UTSA will next play at Navy Saturday at 11 a.m. In Seguin, TLU opening their season against Howard Payne. Bulldogs looking to kickstart a rally late in the first quarter. Handoff goes to running back Jacob Fortone out of Smithson Valley. He makes a man miss behind the line of scrimmage, barrels into the end zone for the 15-yard touchdown. Bulldogs' first touchdown of the season, but they trailed 21-7, and the Bulldogs dropped their home opener 59-45. And in Nevada, Texas State falls 38-14. Two games still in progress due to lightning delays. UIW leads Southern Illinois in the third, 29-16, and Trinity is ahead of Sul Ross State, 49-7 in the third. Number 6, Texas A&M hosting Sam Houston State at Kyle Field. First quarter, Haynes King throws to the left side, and he connects with Ewell Keith Brown for a 66-yard touchdown pass, and the Aggies go up 7-0. They led 17-zip at halftime, and then endured a near 3-hour weather delay before play resumed. Now, King went 20 for 31 for 364 yards, passing 3 TD passes and 2 interceptions. Now, 2 of his touchdown passes went to Aeneas Smith, who had 164 yards receiving. Aggies win at 31-0 and will next host Appalachian State Saturday at 2:30 in the afternoon. And coming up later in sports, an incredible cutback run that helped Uvalde football win last night, plus Quinn Ewers' Texas debut. Guys,
great job last night on your guys' call for that game.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
Great game. Well, a threat from the sky. That was the scene when a pilot threatened to crash a plane into a Walmart. See the video from the ground before the plane landed.
And roaches on the Riverwalk are a common sight, but you don't want them hanging out with you while you eat and drink. What we found at a Riverwalk restaurant this week when we went behind the kitchen door. It's next.
A South Park Mall food vendor shut down because of a roach infestation.
And a popular Riverwalk bar was also plagued by pests. That's what I found when I went behind the kitchen door.
This week's top offender is located inside the South Park Mall food court. A health inspector suspended pretzel maker's license on July 27th due to unsanitary conditions and a roach infestation. Live roaches were found under sinks, inside the ice machine, and behind boxes. Dead roaches were found inside cabinets and in front of the soda machine. There was also a fly ribbon above the food prep area, and the inside of the ice machine was soiled with a mold-like residue. Their score? An 81.
Is there anybody I can talk to about your recent health inspection?
The snack shop was back in business when I stopped by this week.
When did you all reopen? Because it had to be shut down for a while?
Well, it wasn't a while. It was probably just like a day, right?
According to follow-up reports, the inspector reinstated pretzel maker's license on July 29th, but he still found live roaches. The inspector returned on August 10th and 25th for re-inspections. The roach problem appears to be resolved, and the business has corrected several other violations. Roaches are a common sight on the Riverwalk, but you don't expect them to be crawling around where you eat and drink. The Esquire Tavern downtown earned an 84 despite having a roach problem. The inspector noted numerous live and crawling roaches throughout the establishment, including some that were creeping across the main countertop and under a mat used for clean glasses. The manager stated they received pest control services but failed to provide any invoices. There was also exposed cooked meat in a cooler under a dirty cooler fan, a buildup of grease on vent hoods, and a moldy sludge on the sliding door tracks of bar coolers and in cold hold units. That's what's behind the kitchen door. Tim Gerber, KSAT 12 News.
And if you want to know which restaurants have good or bad scores, we can help you. Just scan this QR code with your phone. It'll take you to our new mapping tool on the BKD page. You can see all the scores for local food businesses. The reports go back about 6 months and are frequently updated.
A small plane is back on the ground and the pilot in custody after he threatened to intentionally crash it into a Walmart this morning in Mississippi. The pilot has been identified as an employee of the airport where the plane was taken. Witnesses in the area reported seeing a plane circling the area. Police say the Walmart had been evacuated along with nearby stores. Negotiators were able to convince the pilot to land the plane, which he did in a field.
Absolutely, there's damage, but believe it or not, the aircraft is intact. We have reason to believe that he was very close to running out of fuel, and that's according to experts.
The suspect is being charged with grand larceny and making terroristic threats. Federal charges are pending as well. The Federal Aviation Administration is now investigating.
To Northern California now, where the mill fire has burned more than 4,000 acres. Thousands forced to flee their homes in the town of Weed. California's Governor Gavin Newsom issuing a state of emergency to support the crews that are battling those fires. Some of the firefighters capturing this video as they rushed in to help. Several injuries have been reported. Southern California seeing some record-breaking temperatures right now.
It's killer, man. Got the AC running all day, crazy expensive bills. Just trying to get past it, man. This is bad. This is the worst we've seen for a while, for sure.
That heat particularly dangerous for anyone working outdoors there. Officials in Los Angeles have issued multiple alerts to conserve energy during the hot temperatures in order to avoid rolling blackouts.
We now have the clearest picture of what was inside the boxes FBI agents seized from former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate. This after the Justice Department's full inventory was unsealed. More than 11,000 documents were removed. 48 empty folders were labeled classified. 42 empty folders were categorized as returned to staff, secretary/military aid. By all indication, the contents inside were and still are secrets of the United States. Trump's former Attorney General Bill Barr appearing to side with the FBI. When asked about their unprecedented Mar-a-Lago raid, he said this to Fox News.
How long is the government going to try to get that back? You know, they jawbone for a year. They were deceived on the voluntary actions taken. They then went and got a subpoena. They were deceived on that, they feel. And the facts are starting to show that they were being jerked around.
The question still remains if a federal judge will appoint a special master to handle this case. That special master will work as a third party to oversee those documents between Trump and the Department of Justice.
Still ahead in the Nightbeat, the community blood supply is very low and donations collected now might not be enough. We'll explain why the blood screening process that has an impact on that already low blood supply. All right, the community blood supply is only 2 days right now. That's according to the South Texas Blood and Tissue Center.
Yeah, with blood supply only a day worth. Officials say potentially life-saving donations can't just go from one arm to another. They've got to be screened first.
Although the shortage is critical, Jesse Degollado tells us unexpected delays can show up in blood screenings, especially among those who have been recently vaccinated.
By the time donors give blood, the South Texas Blood and Tissue Center says they've already been thoroughly screened on paper. But before their donations are put to use, the center goes an important step further.
This is the testing lab for donated blood, where I'm told, quote, a very small percentage come back with false positives for infectious diseases. Just how small?
Around 200 out of 75,000. So that's even less than 1%. The test that we use for some of our testing is really, really sensitive.
Especially, she says, if someone has been recently vaccinated against any number of diseases. If a test comes back positive, she says they do additional testing. But if they're still positive, say for syphilis or hepatitis, they do a final test to confirm. Of those, she says, the majority come back negative.
So we allow that donor to come back and retest again or to donate with additional testing.
However, she says re-entry times can vary. But why wait if their last test was negative?
Maybe they will later be a true positive, right? And it's an evolving positive.
Or she says perhaps they had the flu and their antibodies are still high. But the very low rate of false positives, she says, shouldn't worry potential donors.
And if you are one of those really rare people that gets a false positive result, we'll work with you on that. Please don't let this stop you from donating.
Jesse Degollado, KSAT 12 News.
So just the best sight today, driving back from Uvalde, all this rain coming down.
Yeah.
I had a ton of pictures and videos on my phone because it's just a sight to see. Just happy to have the rain.
But you didn't share them with KSAT Connect.
I did not. No, I forgot. I did send him in our teams. Other people.
Lee, you need to get on it because look at these pictures through our KSAT Connect feature on our weather app. Yes, a very welcome sight to be seeing some rain around San Antonio today. Of course, there were those who got more rain than others, but still, take a look at some of these pictures here. I love this free car wash. Definitely need to wash off the dirt there from from all of the dust and everything outside. All right, this was out in Live Oak. Now, this user says coming down consistently in Live Oak, but look, it's only about 1/4 of an inch. And Live Oak was one of those areas that just did not receive all that much rain. This is what it looked like as the showers and storms were rolling in. A nice outflow boundary there. Beautiful cloud development. And this was a winner chicken dinner when it comes to rainfall. Linda in north central San Antonio got 2.5 inches of rain. Wow, that is awesome. Here's another look at that, a time lapse of the rain from today. You can see those dark clouds rolling in right around 5:30. And then shortly after that, showers and storms around San Antonio. The high today was 93 officially at the airport. We clocked in 92 hundredths of an inch of rainfall. I know that graphic said 39 hundredths, but that was before the heaviest of the rain rolled in. Here's a look at the radar right now. You can see the heavier showers and storms are well south of San Antonio at the moment. In Karnes County near Kennedy in northern B County and in southern Atascosa County, that's where we're seeing the showers and storms at the moment. These, as the evening wears on, will become lighter, but for now there's still some moderate to heavy rain there south of San Antonio. And we've got some light rain near Amistad Reservoir in Valverde County near Del Rio and in Eagle Pass. Some moderate rain falling at the moment. In San Antonio, it's quiet. We've just got perhaps some sprinkles here and there. And as we look at the 12-hour rainfall, anywhere you see these yellows is where much of the rain fell, up to 2 inches of rain. Anywhere you see the greens, that's where up to 1 inch of rain fell. So some good rain for the north side and the west side of town today. And unfortunately, Bulverde, Timberwood Park, Schertz, Santa Clara, New Braunfels, St. Hedwig area, not really winning the rain lottery today. Only about 1/4 of an inch of rain, if that. Okay, high-res futurecast shows that early tomorrow morning there is going to be a damp start to the day. Some light rain showers out there with a heavier rain south. Coverage should be about 40%. Then as we head into the afternoon, mostly a quiet day for us in the afternoon after that morning light rain. That's when most of the rain is expected in the morning. Otherwise, we're only going to have a few isolated showers and storms for your Sunday. So scattered light rain in the morning, temperatures in the 70s. Right around noon, it's still going to be fairly cloudy, 82 degrees, and then 88 for the high temperature. Only a few downpours out there in the afternoon. Odds are you'll miss out on the afternoon rain. East-southeast winds at 5 miles per hour. Temperature is going to be much cooler than seasonably average. The average is 93, but because we'll have a damp start and some clouds hanging around, temperatures should top off in the upper 80s. 86 in Hondo, Pleasanton you'll be at 83, 84 in Uvalde, 87 in Del Rio, 86 in Gonzales, and 88 in New Braunfels. Let's turn to Labor Day now. Monday's going to start off pretty quiet, and in fact, most of the day itself will be quiet. Don't cancel your barbecue or outdoor plans. However, in the afternoon, you may have to dodge 1 or 2 isolated downpours. Overall coverage will only be about 30%. So to summarize everything I said, tomorrow some light rain early in the morning, 88 for the high temperature, and on Monday, generally a 30% chance for an isolated downpour. Promise to check of the tropics. We've got 2 systems out there. Hurricane Danielle going to remain a hurricane for the fish, and Tropical Storm Earl expected to bring a potential for some localized flooding near Puerto Rico, but generally not going to be much of an issue. And then as we look into the rest of the week, temperatures go up, rain chances go down.
All right, Sarah, thank you.
All right, Larry, the Quinn Ewers era is underway in Texas.
It is, and it was his first meaningful football game in about 1.5 years. So Quinn Ewers started off a little rusty today, and then he seemed to settle down. So we'll have more on his debut with UT coming up. Plus, it was a rainy night for big game coverage. Highlights on the way. Check Texas kicked off the season at home tonight with Louisiana Monroe, and special teams helped the Longhorns strike first. Deshaun Jameson breaks right through the middle, jumps to block the punt. Wow, Keelan Robinson picks up the ball, and he scores a 12-yard touchdown, and the Horns lead 7-0. Late first quarter, Quinn Ewers throws his first touchdown pass for the Longhorns, connecting with Jatavion Sanders, 19 yards. Texas goes up 14-3, and UT led 24-3 at halftime. Third quarter, Ewers throws a quick pass to Bijan Robinson in the flat. He cuts inside and breaks off a 16-yard touchdown. Longhorns win it 52-10. Ewers passed for 225 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick in 3 quarters, and quarterback Hudson Card closed out the game. In more Big 12 scores, number 10 Baylor beat Albany 69-10. Number 9 Oklahoma top UTEP 45-13. Kansas State wins 34-0 versus South Dakota. Iowa State rolls past Southeast Missouri State 42-10, and Texas Tech drops the hammer on Murray State 63-10. After a lightning delay, we did have high school football tonight at Ferris Stadium. Number 3 Brennan taking on number 9 Brandeis. Third quarter, Brennan up 21-0 and adding to the lead. Quarterback Ashton Dubose dumps it off to Avron Carter on the screen pass, and he weaves his way through traffic to the end zone for a 20-yard touchdown and a 28-0 lead. Then, next Brennan drive, they strike again. This time Dubose fakes 2 handoffs before finding Jason Love near the sideline. Love sneaks past the tackle, and he's gone 37 yards to the house. Brennan cruises to a big win, 42-6. It's also wet at the Gus tonight. Number 8 Harlan playing Laredo Alexander. Hawks wasting no time getting on the board. Opening drive, handoff goes to Jacob Gonzalez, who starts left and cuts back to the inside and races to the end zone. 42 yards for the touchdown and 7-0 Harlan. The cheerleaders getting fans fired up while wearing ponchos. Next drive, Hawks keep rolling. This time Noah Ferris off play action finds Isaiah Manchester for a 27-yard touchdown. Harlan led 42-0 in halftime, and the Hawks win it 45-7, and Lee defeats Southwest Legacy 21-7. Last night in Uvalde, the Coyotes beat EP Wim 34-28 to improve to 2-0 on the young season. Uvalde strong was evident all night at the Honey Bowl, and it was amazing to witness. Fourth quarter, less than 40 seconds left in the game. Number 1, Jonathan Jimenez goes in motion, takes the handoff, he runs left, spins out of a tackle, stays on his feet. Now he cuts back the other way, finds his way outside. He hits the sideline, and he's thinking end zone, but gets pushed out of bounds at the 10-yard line by a defender. He made something out of nothing. Next play, Brody Carnes throws to Devin Franklin for a one-handed touchdown, and that would turn out to be the game-winning score. What an incredible run and catch for Uvalde with the game on the line.
I thought it was over. I turned to our offensive coordinator and said, we're going to run it out and go to overtime. And next thing I know, the little fart's running down our sideline. So JJ's a great athlete, and when he sees it and gets in the open field, I just hoping nobody was going to block in the back or something like that, because once he gets loose, he's always got a chance.
Came out here and we fought our hardest, but we never gave up, and, that was just what this town needed. They needed this win.
Uvalde will next play at Poteet Friday night at 7. Girls High School water polo at Northside Aquatic Center, O'Connor versus Brennan. Panthers trying to rally, down by 5. Cameron Kripe fires it past the keeper. Great goals. O'Connor pulls within 1, but the Bears answer back. Tiffany Redway gets it back out to Allie Westendorf, and she picks the top corner for the goal. Brennan wins a close one, 10-8. The Brennan boys also won. You can find those highlights from that match on the BGC page later tonight.
All right. I have some questions about it, but I'm not going to ask you and put you on the spot. I'm wondering how they hold on to the ball if it's slippery.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that
All
later.
right, we will. All right, thank you, Larry.
We'll be right back.